Now, a literal Congress versus Congress fight is brewing in Karnataka. Youth Congress leader Mohammad Nalapad, the man who has a history and reputation of being abusive, is out on bail, is now in the center of yet another row. Bellary Rural District Youth Congress President Sidhu has alleged that he and his relatives were abused by Mohammad Nalapad and his friends. The fight allegedly took place during a dinner get-together that Sidhu was invited to by Nalapad. Sidhu alleged that Nalapad and his friends abused them and even used abusive language. Sidhu alleges that he was hit in the nose and his brother and driver too were injured. In a U-turn, Sidhu soon denied reports of the abuse and claimed that what happened was just a misunderstanding and that Nalapad was not involved in the flight. Nalapad soon reacted to the claims made by Sidhu and defended himself, saying that he was being targeted unnecessarily.
ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಲ್ಪಾಡು ಸಿದ್ದುಗ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಚಾನಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಈಗ ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು 100ಕ್ಕೂ 100 ಸುಳ್ಳು. ತೆಲಿಗೆ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮೂಗಿಗೆ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತುಟಿ ಹರಿದೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನೋ ಫೋಟೋ ಏನು ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಲೈವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ಇದು. ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯೂತ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮದ್ರು ಇದ್ದಂಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ತರ ನಾವಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆ ತರ ಘಟನೆ ನಡೆದಿಲ್ಲ.
This is the video. There is no damage, there is no hurt, there is no nothing. So if a person is attacked, there will be something, no? There was in the photo that was shown, the head was cut, the lips is cut, but here there is nothing.
It's a fresh video.
It is a fresh video right now. He is talking the same topic. He is talking the same language. So there's a kind of a backstage to this. Clearly there is zero problem because it is very clear what Sidhu is speaking, what I am speaking, both what the accusation was, me and Sidhu. Both of us are saying we don't have any problem. Then who has the problem?
An imbroglio that's really taking place at the moment on the back of this entire issue. A literal Congress versus Congress fight that's brewing in Karnataka with Youth Congress leader Mohammad Nalapad, who has a reputation of being abusive, in the center of the row. Bellary Rural District Youth Congress President Sidhu alleging that he and his relatives were abused by Nalapad, that the fight took place at a dinner get-together that Sidhu had organized and that Nalapad and his friends were abusive. Sidhu alleges he was hit in the nose, his brother and driver were also injured. However, he later denied reports of abuse and claimed it all to be a misunderstanding. He also said Nalapad was not involved in the fight. Nalapad, on his part, reacting to those claims and defending himself. Arunachal Pradesh MP Tapir Gao on Tuesday alleged that People's Liberation Army of China abducted a 17-year-old boy from the state. According to defense sources, after receiving the information, Indian Army contacted PLA through a hotline and told them that a youth lost his way while collecting herbs. Sources also said that Indian Army told Chinese Army to locate the youth and return his back as per protocol. The teenager, identified as Miram Taron, who was allegedly abducted from Lungta Jor area under Siongla area. According to BJP MP Gao, Miram Taron's friend escaped from the PLA and reported to the authorities about the incident. Gao has requested all government agencies to step up for his early release.
The present incident is also happening after the Chinese renamed 20 villages of Arunachal. Is it coincidence or a pre-planned act? Time will tell. But the government of India must act fast and forcibly to ensure that the youth abducted by the PLA is returned safely.
5 youths in September 2020 who had gone hunting in the upper Subansari district. However, the PLA released them after 10 days. We are hopeful that this boy who has been abducted by the PLA, who had gone for hunting and for collection of herbs, will be released soon.
Now, after news of the Arunachal teen being allegedly abducted by Chinese army Politics have emerged over this entire incident. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi attacked the Modi government, saying that just ahead of Republic Day, an Indian youth has been abducted by China and the Prime Minister is silent on the issue. He added that the Prime Minister's cowardly silence was his statement and extended support to the family of Miram Tarun. Congress leaders also joined in attacking Modi. Congress MLA Sachin Pilot alleged that it was for the first time that foreigners were coming in and kidnapping citizens. Congress MP Manikam Tagore also attacked Modi and said that after the abduction, why is Prime Minister Modi not showing his 56-inch chest to China? Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala said Chinese army transgresses and abducts our citizens in Arunachal.
हमारे जो ये लड़का है उनको वो किडनैप किया गया है, तो बहुत ही अनफॉर्चुनेट बात है कि हमारे अरुणाचल में अभी भी चीन के लोग घुसपैठी कर रहे हैं.
Foreigners are coming into our country and abducting citizens. It's actually symptomatic of what's happening on that border. As you know, China has made intrusions into our land and there is a deafening silence from the government of India. The fact that the individual was abducted and a BJP MP is asking for its release leaves nothing more to be said. I'm of the opinion that our borders need to be more secure, and all the bravado and chest thumping that the government of India does in Delhi, they should actually come out and tell the people the truth, take strong actions, and whatever strong action the government of India takes, we'll support them. But it can't be that continuous intrusion into our territory, abducting of our citizens. I think it's a grave and serious matter, and the government of India should take immediate action.
कोई भी घटना बॉर्डर पे होती है, उसकी पूरी चिंता हमारी सरकार करती है. राहुल जी को, अपने सैनिकों को, अपने प्रधानमंत्री को, अपने रक्षा मंत्रालय को बुज़दिल नहीं मानना चाहिए. वो भी इसी देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में पराक्रमी सेना रहती है. तो बॉर्डर पर जो जवाब हमें देना है वो हम देते हैं और दिया है.
The latest incident is absolutely worrying. That if an Indian citizen has been abducted by the People's Liberation Army, then under those circumstances, government of India, our force commanders on the ground must talk to the People's Liberation Army, must get that boy back unharmed, because this abduction of Indian citizens by the Chinese PLA is something which is not acceptable at all.
It is not the Congress leaders or the media which is asking questions, but the BJP MP from Arunachal has asked for help, emergency help yesterday night, but till of now there is steady fast silence from the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. Why Mr. Modi is afraid to take the name of China itself?
India raised the issue of hate against Hindus at the United Nations during the International Counter-Terrorism Conference. India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurti, spoke about the tendency of UN members to label terrorism into categories, terming it dangerous. India, on its part, argued that apart from Islamophobia, Christianophobia and anti-Semitism, there is a trend of a new phobia or bias emerging. T.S. Tirumurti said, and I quote, "The emergence of contemporary forms of religiophobia, especially anti-Hindu, anti-Buddhist and anti-Sikh phobias, is a matter of serious concern and needs attention of the UN and all member states to address this threat." He also cautioned that the misuse of information and communication technology, such as internet and social media, for terrorist propaganda and radicalization. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson declares that UK's Omicron peak is over. This declaration means that several COVID restrictions will now be lifted. Wearing face masks will no longer be mandatory outdoors. People will no longer be asked to work from home starting next week. Boris also scraps mandatory vaccine certificate rule for large gatherings. Remember, UK was one of the hardest hit countries in Europe. After a massive spike in daily cases, the country has begun to see some light at the end of the tunnel. 94,432 COVID cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. The figure has gone down by 38.9% as compared to the previous week. The lifting of curbs comes even as several parts of the world are seeing a massive surge in COVID cases fueled by the Omicron variant. As cases continue to surge in the U.S., the Biden government is facing heat over COVID response and trying desperately to fight criticism. The government rolls out a new COVID fight plan, including a bid to ramp up testing and masking in the U.S. Here is all you need to know.
400 million N95 masks from the government's strategic national stockpile will be made available for free to U.S. residents starting next week. That's according to a White House official who said the non-surgical face masks will soon be shipped to pharmacies and community health centers for pickup. The official said the program, the largest deployment of PPE in U.S. history, will be fully up and running by early February. It's the latest move from the Biden administration to help slow the spread of COVID-19 after the president and his team faced criticism for not doing enough in the face of Omicron, including on testing. Addressing that criticism, free COVID-19 tests can now be ordered through a government website which launched this week. Many health officials applaud increased testing and masks, especially the N95 that form a seal around the nose and mouth to help slow the spread of the virus. But several executives told Reuters that healthcare supply chains remain fragile and that small and poorly funded hospitals are at most risk of running low on N95s if Americans snap them up. U.S. mask makers, however, say they have the means to make millions of them each month.
A trend that's taking social media by storm. Fox eye looks. But what exactly is this trend and what's the buzz around it? Chaiti Narula brings you this report.
Just when the world was turning more pro-aging and embracing the natural, the Omicron-related work-from-home Zoom meetings seem to have put the focus back on the face, highlighting insecurities of many. While that's completely human in an age of Instagram filters, it makes you wonder what is the secret behind some perfect jawlines that don't have the double chin. In fact, the internet is abuzz with trendy fox eye looks on social media with some gravity-defying faces. Bella Hadid, Kendall Jenner, Gigi Hadid, Emily Ratajkowski, Doja Cat, Eva Mendes. They make one wonder, what is the secret behind the fox eye looks and defined jaws? While it's no secret that Hollywood loves its plastic surgery, there are non-surgical lifts that have taken over the world of cosmetology. For instance, thread lifts. Been there for a while but gaining prominence now.
Threads are really trending world over. They have been there for a long time. I've been using threads personally since 2013. The type of threads have evolved over a period of time. We started off with PDO, then we did silhouette threads, then we did Aptos threads, and now we have these bidirectional polycapronolactone threads. So they are getting better and better by the day.
Threads are medical sutures, if you will. They're threads, essentially, that you put under the skin. You insert them under the skin, and they slowly dissolve while creating a wound healing mechanism to stimulate a lot of collagen and elastin. What it is an easy, quick, nearly painless way to create natural tightening of the skin. You can do it on the neck, on the jawline, on the double chin, on the cheeks, on the nose to lift the nose. You can do it on the brows for that cat's eye. We can even do it a little bit for the lip. We can do it for breast lifting, for butt lifting, for tightening of the tummy, especially post-delivery, for tightening of any area of the body.
It is usually debatable whether aesthetic trends are here to stay or not. But for now, it's surely trending thanks to the fox eye look on Instagram handles.
Thread lifts have actually become part of the normal world in our aesthetic centers. Thread lifts are well known amongst clients, well known amongst doctors, and yes, they are trending essentially because they work. You see good benefits, the downtime is minimal, the side effects are also minimal, and it's quick and easy and you can get results.
But how long do these even last?
Well, depending on the type of the threads and the number of threads that have been put in, they will last. For example, PDO threads will last for about 6 to 8 months. Aptos threads would last for about a year. The polycapronolactone threads are set to last for even up to 2 years.
While you may be sure tempted to look a certain way thanks to Zoom meetings and picture-perfect Instagram looks, there are some who should avoid these procedures.
The people who should avoid getting a thread lift are ones who either have such severe sagging that the thread lifts just won't show much of a difference, or if you have an active autoimmune process, if you have a tendency to form scars like keloids, and also if you're allergic to any of the materials of the threads. There are many different materials of the threads, so you'll have to check with your practitioner.
The trend seems like it's here to stay, as it somewhat enables the aspirational supermodel look without the plastic surgery. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
After the series defeat against South Africa in Tests, India suffered another loss at the hands of the hosts, this time in the first ODI at par, chasing 297 for victory. KL Rahul's men lost the match by 31 runs despite 50s from Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli and Shardul Thakur. Here's how it all transpired.
Oh, little Nick. Wave, really.
Yaniman Malan out, caught behind.
Deeply regrets his hand goes straight.
Quinton de Kock bowled off Ashwin. Aiden Markram run out trying to steal a single.
Oh, I think he's gone. Quinton de Kock.
Having won the toss on a sluggish wicket, South Africans were in a spot of bother at 68 for 3. But then came Rassie van der Dussen. Along with captain Temba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen not just stabilised the innings but ensured South Africa's scoring rate picked up.
There was a bit of a
Even as Bavuma played second fiddle, van der Dussen showed why he's rated so highly in the 50 overs format. The duo put together South Africa's second highest ODI partnership against India, a 204-run stand that floored the visitors.
Back of a length and it's banged away for 4.
Both batsmen also got to their hundreds in the process.
Up into the ring and
while Bavuma took his time, getting to his century of 133 balls, van der Dussen made up for the deficit by notching up his ton in just 83 deliveries.
2 centurions.
Even as Bavuma perished in the penultimate over, fireworks from van der Dussen ensured that the hosts posted 296 on the board. In response, Shikhar Dhawan got India off to a decent start. Even as captain KL Rahul departed for a 17-ball 12, Dhawan and Kohli ensured India kept the scoreboard ticking.
Shot.
The duo put together 92 runs for the second wicket.
one of the great.
Dhawan, who was looking good for 100 though, was removed by Keshav Maharaj for 79. Former captain Kohli too recorded his 5th 50-plus score in last 7 ODI innings in the African nation. He in fact overtook Sachin Tendulkar to become the Indian with most ODI runs overseas. But his wicket right after his 50 provided the Proteas with the opening they needed. Wickets kept tumbling one after the other as India's middle and lower middle order failed to offer any kind of resistance.
Up in the air, this could be out, it will be out.
Shardul Thakur did show his batting prowess, registering his maiden ODI 50, but it was too little too late as South Africa took a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series.
By South Africa.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
By any means.